Hey everyone, this is Music Tech Help Guy, and welcome to part 18 of my Pop EDM production series in Logic Pro 10. In this video, we are going to finish up the last of our vocal editing. We'll also finish up using flex pitch completely in this video. We're going to be working on the vocals in the drop section. I'm calling it the drop who section because there's just a little vocal melody in there that doesn't really have any words to it. It's just being used as almost like a synthesizer as a vocal melody. So just so you can get an idea of what this is supposed to sound like when the song's done and finished and fully mixed, let me play the reference track. Now, obviously, that's fully mixed, and there's a lot of reverb and delay and stuff on it. This is what the dry signal sounds like for those vocals at the moment. There's 4 tracks, 2 high vocals, and 2 low vocals. Let me go ahead and unsolo the reference track for now. And I'll just put my cycle range just around this little area here. Okay, so they're actually in time, so we don't really need to do any time alignment, but we do need to make them sound a bit more synthetic, and we're going to do that using flex pitch and probably pulling the vibrato down almost completely, if not completely, to get that sort of auto-tuned sound. And there's also 4 of them, and we want them to sound more like one unit rather than 4 voices. So there's one thing in particular I'm going to do with the panning and the volume on all 4 of these is I'm going to take the second high one and I'm going to pull that down here. So I've got 1 high, 1 low, 1 high, 1 low. For the first high, I'm going to pan that slightly over to the right. The first low, I'm going to pan slightly to the left. For the second high, we're going to pan this hard left. And then the second low, we're going to pan this hard right. Now in the mixer, the bottom 2, we're going to pull them down significantly in the mix. So they're almost just like a layer to the other 2. And really the low one can the first low one can come down a little bit as well. So we end up with something like this. All right. So let's start with the very first. Actually, we'll do all of them at once. Go ahead and turn on flex time, or show flex time. Turn on flex for all of these. And it'll go through and do the analysis on all of them. There we go. And I'm going to change their algorithm from polyphonic over to flex pitch. It'll analyze them, do a pitch analysis on them. Okay. So we got our flex analysis up here. Let's just start with the very first one here. I'm going to double click on it. This should be very, very easy to do because the vocals are pretty much in tune. We just got to sort of compensate for any notes that didn't get split up like this one. So again, when you have a note like that where it doesn't get split up properly, you're just going to go grab your scissors tool. And then you're just going to cut it right there. And the only difference between the first instance of this and the second instance is on the second one, she goes up. So there she goes down. And there she goes up on the middle one. So I'm just going to hit Command A to select all. Pull up my pitch correction all the way. And I'm going to pull down the vibrato. I'm going to try actually going all the way down to 0. We'll see how that fares. There we go. Let's give that a listen. Perfect. Again, I really want it to sound more like a synthesizer and less like the voice. And actually later on, what we're going to do is actually layer this idea with a synthesizer too. So All right, let's jump down to the first low one. Let me just give it a little look here and make sure everything has gotten properly cut up. Let's give this a listen. Let's just listen to the first low one by itself. So let's unsolo these other ones. Yeah, it looks like we're good. So again, Command A, pull the pitch correction all the way up. Here we go. It looks like right here, though, something went wrong. Yeah. This needs to be on A, not on B flat here. It actually looks like it needs to be split right here as well. Yeah, so let's do that. So I just split it. We'll retune just these notes. There we go. Perfect. Let's see. Let me look for any other mistakes. Right here's a little something. Yeah, this should be B right here, because remember we're in B minor. And then everything else looks good. Maybe this one over here. Yeah, it's snapping onto some other notes. I mean, if we really wanted to, we could quantize this to the key, and it would probably be fine, but just kind of manually going through and double checking all the notes. Let's give that a listen. Actually, first, let's pull down the vibrato down to 0. There we go. And then we'll give it a listen. All right, cool. So, like I've said in previous videos, if you're hearing some little clicks and pops in there, that shouldn't happen on your end. It's happening on my end because I'm trying to do a video, a 1440p video capture while simultaneously grabbing audio, while simultaneously working in a Logic session, doing some pretty CPU-intensive tasks. Let's see, everything in, this is the third one down, this is the second high one. Everything looks good in here. Let me just hit Command A, pull the pitch correction up. And you know what I'll do, just for good measure, I'll turn the scale quantize on as well. So remember, we're in B minor, so just choose B from the key down here. And then we'll choose B natural minor, and then hit the Q button. And let's see what that sounds like. Actually, I forgot to pull the vibrato down. Let's pull the vibrato down as well. Cool. And then the very last one. Let's double check and make sure everything is properly split up. Looks like it is. Command A. Pull up the pitch correction, scale quantize it, and let's give that one a listen. Oop, once again, I'm forgetting to pull down the vibrato. Do that. Give that a listen. Perfect. Okay, so let's listen to all 4 of them at the same time. And let's make sure they sound correct together. Cool. Now what I'm going to do is, instead of bouncing each of these in place, I'm going to do the join thing again, where I just cut off a little extra on the end here and pull it out. This is just silence, but what this does is it splits it into 2 separate clips, and 2 clips that are not supposed to be joined together. And when I hit J, it actually joins them together. It's just a way I use to trick Logic into essentially consolidating clips into a single clip in place without having to use the Control B function. For those of you guys who've used Pro Tools, you know that the Shift Option 3 consolidates any clips in Pro Tools. Even if it's just one clip, you can still reconsolidate it. It's one of those functions that Logic doesn't really have an equivalent for that I wish they would implement in one of the newer versions of Logic. So I'm going to turn off Flex on all these tracks too, because we don't need it anymore. And the thing is, this idea goes not just twice like this, it actually goes 4 times. So what I'm going to do is copy all of this over. So I'm going to hold Option, copy it over to measure 54. And then the front end of that's going to get kind of cut off. So I'm going to turn off my snap, drag over all of these, hover over the middle part here, and you get this little junction fader, whatever you want to call it. We'll just pull that out. I thought I could do all of them at once. I guess not. There we go. This is basically just silence in the background, so no need for a fade. All right, so for this part, the You've Got It Bad So Bad, that's a leftover from the build-up vocals. You got it bad so bad. That also needs to be copy and pasted multiple times. So a quick way to do that is just to use your snap bar mode and use your marquee tool and drag over this and just leave 2 measures in front of it. Click on it and then just hit Command R. And what it'll do is it'll just copy it 3 more times. You hit Command R to repeat it 3 more times. So let's see what that sounds like all together. You got it bad so bad. 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 So the very last one, she ends on the word so. It's just, there's like a swell leading into the second verse. So she just says, you've got it bad so, and then the first or the second verse kicks in. So what I'm going to do is just basically lob off this last word here and then fade this out. There we go. All right, we need to do some other copy and pasting as well. We need to take this whole hook buildup section and copy it over to the second hook buildup, but it actually happens twice in that instance of it. So again, what I'm going to do is turn snap mode to bar, and I'm going to make sure that I have my relative value option on, and we're just going to drag over all this, hold Option, and drag it over to the second hook buildup. And this is actually there we go, it's a pickup note, so it should actually go slightly before the second hook buildup. Let me just unsolo all of these. Love me, tell me that you need me, tell me that I'm everything you want me to be. Yeah, sounds good. One of the things I didn't do when we made this is the harmonies are really way up in the mix. Let's pull the harmonies way down in the mix. All right. Love me, tell me that you need me, tell me that I'm everything you want me to be. Tell me how I'm fearless, tell me I'm your weakness. You got it bad, you got it bad, so bad, so bad. All right, so now that we've got this pasted over into the first part of the second hook buildup, we are going to paste the rest of this over. So in order to do this, make sure that your snap mode is still on bar, we're still on relative value, and you're also going to make sure that your drag mode is on no overlap, because we want any overlaps to essentially disappear when we drag this over. So I'm going to drag over everything in the hook buildup and the drop, hold Option and drag it over. I'll just zoom in while all of this is still selected, and we're going to pull this over so that it's right in the middle of measure 86. And this is going to overlap the Tell Me How You Love Me part of the hook. So I'm going to turn off my snap, and we're going to just trim this up a bit. This one doesn't go out any further, but this we can pull back. So probably the best thing to do is, well, that doesn't go out any further either. Let me zoom in here, and we're going to pull back the first part just a touch, and then we'll add like a quick little fade to it. So we'll get rid of those little little pieces there, and maybe pull this to the right just a touch more. And then I'll just drag over all 4 of those, and then use my Shift-Control shortcut to create fades on all 4 of those. We can also delete the last repetition on the second drop section, because it's just not there in the, if you listen to the reference track, it's not there. And the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and turn my snap mode back on, hold Option, and drag the entire second hook buildup over to the outro hook, because that's where the hook repeats itself one more time. All right, so let's give this whole thing a listen, and let's make sure everything is in place.
Tell me how you love me, tell me that you need me, tell me that I'm everything you want me to be. Tell me how I'm fearless, tell me I'm your weakness. You got it bad, so tell me how you love me, tell me that you need me, tell me that I'm everything you want me to be. Tell me how I'm fearless, tell me I'm your weakness. You got it bad, so bad, so bad. You got it bad, so bad. You got it bad, so bad. You got it bad, so bad. Tell me how you love me, tell me that you need me, tell me that I'm everything.
All right, cool. Everything sounds good and sounds like it's in place. Obviously, we still have some work to do on the vocals and some work to do with the mixing of the track, but all of our vocal editing is now done. And again, we can, in the next video, we'll start to focus on some more of the production, sound design, and mixing of the track. Remember, if you'd like to work along with me, the track for this entire video series is available for download and purchase. I'll make sure to leave a link to it in the video description below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.